I was mid-rant, and I'm gonna clue you guys in on my rant, because I was talking about how the comic book I just read, which was fan-freaking-tastic, emphasis on fan, because it was totally like a fan mashup kind of thing, but the Star Trek Next Generation mashed up with Doctor Who comic I just read, like, as a fan of both shows, it was just like constant giggling on my part, where I'm like, oh my god, this is catchphrase, or oh my god, I love that Jean-Luc Picard and Doctor Who are talking to each other right now. This is freaking amazing. My rant was, why is this comic horror? Like, why should I talk about it on Horror Made? Well, if you think about it, Doctor Who and Star Trek have elements of horror in them. Like, the main villains in this comic are the Cybermen and the Borg team up together to take over the universe, basically. I mean, they have the same goals in mind. They want to assimilate everyone. They want to, tear out what's human in organic people and then make them into something different, make them into a hive mind. And into a hybrid machine thing. And that's their goal. They want to make every organic thing that they can come up against into the same thing that they are. So for the Borg, it's almost like a parasite, You get a human, you get into their brain, and you turn off the part that makes them independent and themselves, and then stick all of these cybernetics on them, and then they're part of the hive mind, they're part of the Borg. Whereas, like, the Cybermen, they just tear out the brain and shove it into this metal body, and then that's it. They're stuck. They still feel pain, but their emotions are turned off, and they're just tapped into the hive mind at that point. Which, isn't that horrifying? If someone were to break into your house for the goal of kidnapping you, and modifying your body and brainwashing you, tearing out what makes you, that's horrifying. So yeah, Cybermen and the Borg fit into my definition of horror, because that's awful. Like, that is something to fear. That is something that plays on our fear of losing ourselves to the greater cause of whatever says it has control over us, And that's just terrifying to me. So, that's why, in conclusion, I think I should talk about this comic on Horror Made. It's also really great, and I know it probably affected me more because I am a fan. I don't think someone who's not familiar with both shows would enjoy this as much as I did, but if you do like the shows, then that's half the fun, is seeing how Doctor Who runs amok in Next Generation's universe and is just causing his usual havoc. And the guys in Next Gen, they hold their own. They're like, yeah, we need to think about this, and this weird, they treat Doctor Who like Q. It's like you took Q and you put Doctor Who in his place, but instead of him being, the mischievous Loki character, it's Doctor Who trying to be helpful and, causing mayhem along the way. It's so good. Okay, rant over for the time being. See you in your nightmares. With the Borg and the Cybermen combined. Dun dun dun.